Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blogs. So let's get to it. Are you guys, as usual, starting off with the ignorance of your president politics? Latest stories that they're talking about these days is the fact that Secret Service cannot afford to protect him. They say that they will go on protecting him as normal because at least for the fiscal year of this year, they have enough money to protect him. After that, they have got to make some hard decisions. Now, even though we want to say that this is a recent problem of the Trump administration, I was reading on the internet that this has been an ongoing problem with the Secret Service for at least the last 10 years. It is much worse because Donald Trump has a large administration. Many of them are at the top of the salary range, which makes the salary top heavy. He has a lot of family, and all of the family has to be protected, which means that there are more Secret Service men protecting his family, which means there's more money, security, salaries, and everything that comes with it. And then we all know that Donald Trump has already spent, I believe they said, $20 million going back and forth on his vacations to Florida using the Secret Service, and he is on track to surpass what President Obama used just in this first year. Okay, so yeah, they got a whole bunch of shit going on down there, but it's going to be paid because your president has to be protected. And I ain't gonna say nothing else about it, okay? So if people think that he's gonna be running around just, hanging out with his homeboys and homegirls without nobody taking care of him, you're sadly mistaken. Even though he is an asshole and he's a stupid ass jerk, he will still be getting protected as all the other presidents have been in the past. Okay? All right. And I guess while we're on the subject of politics, I guess we can move on to the Treasury Secretary, Stephen Mnuchin. Am I saying his last name correctly? Evidently, Mr. Mnuchin, or Nuchin if the M is silent. He was on official government business, had a trip to Kentucky, and he took his wife with him. They say that his wife actually goes with him on many of his government trips, even though that's not the norm for wives of the administration to attend with the husband, or vice versa if it's a husband and the wife, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, they say that the normal practice is that the family would pay back the government for the money used for the spouse to come along. Okay, I don't know how true that is. I don't know if they have the checks and balances to be making sure that these people are paying their money back, but whatever. Anyway, as Mr. Nuchin, whatever his name is, returned back to Washington, D.C., I'm assuming his wife was coming down the stairs ahead of him. It definitely was a plane from the president's fleet. They say that they got approval to take the plane, so it was all good, even though they say that usually the administration, or at least the U.S. Treasury Secretary, normally will just fly on a commercial flight first class. But anyway, we had to get the whole plane. Okay, but yeah, anyway, they're getting off the plane, and his wife, Miss Louise Linton, and some of you guys may know her as a Spanish actress. I've never heard of her, but I'm sure I got some Spanish rock stars out there. How y'all doing? When she was getting off the plane, a picture was snapped of her, and she liked the picture enough to post it on her Instagram, where she said, she basically hashtagged the designers that she was wearing. Okay, Valentino, Tom Ford, Hermes. And when she did that, of course, many of us followers who have an opinion, a Miss Jenny Miller, I believe her name is, at least her Instagram name is Jenny Miller 29. She says something along the lines of how nice it is that we can fund your trip, meaning we as the constituents of the U.S. Okay, and I'm paraphrasing. That's not exactly what she said, but something along those lines. And then that is when Miss Linton got wind of what she said and had a little bit to say to Jenny Miller. Now I'm gonna quote it on this one. Because, honey, she had a whole lot to say. She says, adorable. Do you think the U.S. government paid for our honeymoon or personal travel? Laugh out loud, out loud, out loud. Have you given more to the economy than me and my husband, either as an individual earner in taxes or in self-sacrifice to your country? I'm pretty sure we paid more taxes toward our day trip than you did. Pretty sure the amount we sacrifice per year is a lot more than you'd be willing to sacrifice if the choice was yours. Then she goes on to say, "You're adorably out of touch. Thanks for the passive-aggressive nasty comment. Your kids look very cute. Your life looks cute." I guess she clapped back on Jenny Miller's ass. See, the problem with these kind of things is you're being condescending. You're being rude. You're being nasty. You're putting out a message out there that can easily be seen as the higher class talking down to the lower class. And you don't know what Jenny Miller's life is like, okay? You don't know me. You don't know my life. That's what Jada used to always say when she would get upset. Yeah, just not a good look. You're a politician, or you're a politician's wife. You need to be really humble, especially in the story that I just told you. How much money that is being spent, whether or not we know if it's frivolous or not. I mean, it just not a good look, okay? So once she did that, people had a whole lot to say about Miss Linton. Bitch, you always posting all these nice clothes and all this, and fucking government, they keep on saying that they ain't got no damn money nowhere. Don't look good. Well, of course she came back out and she apologized, and like they do, okay, she didn't mean it, it was inappropriate and all of that. Listen, that lady meant everything that she said. She was mad, and she got called to the carpet for it. Really, I don't see why wives need to attend their husbands in, official business like that. Not on the regular. It just does not look good to me. But, child, this administration, they do whatever the fuck they want to do. We keep on hearing them words, impeachment. I still got a good side eye for that one, but we still gonna see. Mother Auntie Maxine said that it's coming by December, so yeah, we just gonna see. In the meantime, Miss Linton, Mr. Mnuchin, you do best to not be posting all your extravagances on the damn social media. We don't want to see that shit. Alright, you guys, let's talk about the Harts. Now, just a couple of days ago, a week or so ago, it was Kevin Hart and his Ribs anniversary, their first year anniversary. And Kevin Hart posted a heartfelt message for his wife, Eniko. And Eniko did post a heartfelt message back to him. Congratulations, it's a 1 year mark, forever to go. You know how these commemorations can go. She did also say in her little comment that she posted that they had been together 8 years. Now, you know how the damn social media Twitter police is on it. People is all up on the ins and outs of the dates of the divorce of Kevin Hart and TOTB because it was such a big deal back in the day. A lot of people remember that TOTB and Kevin Hart have only been divorced for about 6 years. Okay, and I guess I can probably remember that as well, because I remember talking to you guys about her settlement and how long it took for her to finally just get over it and take that fucking $30,000 settlement divorce spousal support a month on top of what, $15,000 of child support a month, and go on about your business. And Tori finally did get the message. Okay, girl, look, you got your money. You ain't got to deal with his ass if he's a cheater or not, and move on about your life, girl. You's pretty enough. Somebody's gonna sweep you up off your feet, and you gonna move on and be happy and everything. So just good riddance, right? Okay, so we didn't move past all of that. But like I said, people still remember them dates. And one of her followers was like, listen, Kevin and Tori only been divorced for 6 years, so you might not want to be flaunting how many years you guys been together, because it just kind of contributes to the whole home wrecker gossip, the talk that was around about you back in the day. To which the Rib responds that, look, I didn't break up no damn home. That marriage was broken before I came around. It was me. It was plenty other women around, and Tori knew that, okay, but she never wants to admit that because she wants me to look like the mistress. But we all know exactly how that played out. Okay, now. This is my whole thing here. Yes, marriages break up. It be shit going on. People separate, get back together. Okay, it might be infidelities, people sleeping around, doing all of this. But when you are a public figure like Kevin Hart, people still just remember the fact that either you married or you are divorced. If we want to get into the whole semantics of everything, yes, he was still married when he was fooling around with Eniko. I definitely believe that he was fooling around with Eniko when he was with Tori. I mean, he's already admitted that he cheated on Tori. Okay, so it's not no big... How is it that Eniko doesn't think that we remember when he's written it in his book and has put it into his stand-up comedy routine that he's a cheater, that he was a cheater back in the past. Now, he might not be that same person today, but I mean, it's already there. We can't fucking rewrite history. So whether or not he was broken up physically from his wife, but still married, okay, it still, to some people, looks like you were the home wrecker, that you came in and you stole Kevin Hart from. I mean, we have been through this so many fucking times. Tory beat it down our throats, and I believed her. Okay? And like I said, Kevin had already admitted it. So it was just crazy that Eniko was trying to just bring this whole story. But the bigger story is, why would you bring all this back up now? I know that the child is pregnant, and I know you be emotional and hormonal, and we don't know what goes on in their private life. And maybe she done got so fucking tired of Tory in the background, you know, some shit that went down that we don't know nothing about. But it don't look good in social media, because it really looks like you're just being petty. You just coming out of the blue and talking about this girl when everybody thought that you guys had moved on. We see you in pictures with Kevin and his kids, okay? We see Kevin buying things for his ex-wife, and her being supportive of him, and him being supportive of her, and him talking about how, you know, this blended family is going to work, and how he loves Tory for what she did for him in the past, and how he loves you now for what you do for him now. So it's just like, you got him. Why are you going through this? What is the purpose? I was really happy that Tory didn't take it further than she could, because we know that Tory got it in her. But she didn't go there. She just was like, you know, we've really worked hard to just, you know, make sure that this family works, because the most important thing here are the children. You've got the man, okay? Why bring all this back up? So it was just like, the rib just sounded like she was just being bitchy and just... And I guess we can chalk it up to hormonal outbursts and everything. But to me, it was just like, girl, you really got your fucking nerve. Stop it. Think about your family. Your blended family with these kids. Your husband, who's going to be caught in the middle of you guys when we already tried to die all this down. Your new baby coming. Like, why keep this kind of negative chatter, whether it's true or false, going about your lives? I know it gets hard. I know people probably ride her about that all the time. All right. But it's just so unnecessary. So unnecessary. Then we get Kevin Hart, who really should have just not said nothing. Okay. You know, he always has to come back out and try to take the mature route and say some shit like, you know, I just laugh at it because, you know, whatever the fuck he said, it made no sense. It had nothing to do with what these two women was talking about. So just like, shut up. She was out of line, plain and simple. And y'all know I be trying to see both sides of the coin, okay? I don't like to be seeing women going at it like this, but in this case, it was just like, no, the rib, you was tripping. You was tripping, okay? If you guys got personal shit going on, keep that shit personal. Don't be entertaining people. That person didn't seem like a troll to me. The person was just making a point. But don't be entertaining this kind of shit on social media. It's so unnecessary. It's so unhealthy. It keeps shit going. It keeps shit going in your personal life. Like, it's not worth it. Girl, just gone. I'm telling you, I done read that. I was just like, oh, she really did go there. I was expecting Tory to, you know, clap back real heavy, but she didn't. And for that, I commend her. I think that she took the mature approach, and you can see growth in Tory. Because, honey, she could have said a whole lot more. Alright, you guys, let's talk about BlackGirlsRock. Did you guys watch it on Tuesday? If you guys follow me on Twitter, you guys know that I did watch it. I love watching BlackGirlsRock. It's such an inspirational show. I always tell myself I'm going to be on the show one day. Either on the stage or, you know, as a damn audience member. But I'm going to go to that show one day, because it just always makes me feel so... just proud of the accomplishments of black women, and there's so many more, but you know, it's just nice to see that they spotlight some women on this award show. And kudos to Beverly Bonds, who is the person that got it started and has grown it from something very small to, you know, what it is today. Now, with that being said, you guys, I have to say that this show was not as it wasn't as good as they've been in the past. Now, what I will say is the awardees were all bomb, okay, just all on point. I mean, you know, we love Yara. That girl is so smart, so in touch and in tune, and she is going to go places. We are going to see her way out of the scope of just being an actress. That girl is something about her. She has it, definitely. We love Issa Rae. You know, everybody loves Solange. Roberta Flack, her music is going to go on and stand the test of time. You know, we heard about the community activists. What were their names? Derica and Natalie Wilson, the ones who are fighting the fight to find missing Black people in the U.S. We heard about a multimillionaire, Suzanne Shank, who owns her own engineering firm. And of course, we love to hear Maxine Waters speak. She is so also inspirational. It's like she's found her second stride. And really, when I was watching her speak, she was enjoying herself so much up there. I was like, I wonder if in a different day and time, if she would have been one to run for president. People say it, like, I don't see her doing it now. Definitely no. It's just too much shit. She don't need that kind of drama in her life. But if we were to get a younger Maxine in the future, you know what I'm saying? If we could carry her from when she was younger and put her out 4 more years, because, child, we can't take a Trump for 8. If we can put her out there for 4 more years and just see if she would have been one to really get in the arena and go for the big title. So I loved all the honorees, and I was touched by the speeches, and you know, looked at them. They all looked beautiful. I thought Roberta Flack, even though it looks like she may have had a stroke, I'm not sure what has happened, but she's in a wheelchair. She speaks much slower, but she looked beautiful to me, and she made me laugh and everything. You know, I loved everything about that. The performances was lackluster. I was just like, where is Faith Evans and Jill Scott? You know, they good for this kind of stuff. Now, we had Ledisi. I call her Ledisi all the time. It's Ledisi. We had Ledisi, and Ledisi did what she does, okay? Sang her fucking face off, sounded good. She's good for these type of shows. But SZA didn't, and I love SZA, but I just couldn't get the connection that I need. I need some grown woman, strong, you know, slap your mama. Where was Fantasia? Like, where was Patty? Like, where was the ones, you know, that give you that grit and phlegm and hardness and give you a good tear? Now, they had the gospel singer, and she was good as well. I did enjoy India.Arie because she just has a beautiful voice to me. India.Arie's voice always touches me every single time she sings. And it was nice to see Tyrese up there with him. He didn't go overboard. I was assuming because his fallopian tubes was hurt. Woo! And then Tyrese had surgery the other day, and he went on and on about his wife and his daughter being there, and you would have thought that he really had some life-threatening surgery. Okay, one of the Roxstars on Twitter said that he had surgery to remove the stupid from his brain, and it wasn't successful. That poor Tyrese, he ain't gonna never be right. It turned out he had gallbladder surgery, and I mean, surgery is always serious, but why he just always got to be so fucking extra? Nigga, just say what the fuck wrong with you. You got an ingrown toenail, your back molar impacted, was it fucking bunion surgery? Like, nigga, come on and tell it what it is. But anyway, I did enjoy their performance, but just something about the performances, they just didn't do it for me. So, and that usually is what brings it all home for me, okay? People say they speech, and then we get the people in there to rouse up some emotion. You know, black girls like to cry. Shit, we want some shit that's gonna touch our soul. So that was the only thing. Anthony Hamilton, although I love Anthony Hamilton, he didn't feel right, and yeah, it just wasn't right. But overall, I did enjoy the show. Okay, Taraji, I love Taraji too, but I mean, she did fine. I mean, she's a host, so she ain't expected to do a whole lot. But do you guys feel the same way? I'm not being critical, okay? Because y'all know I like the fist pump of righteousness for my black women especially. But what was missing, y'all? Let me know. Did you enjoy it? Good things, bad things? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. Now, you guys, I know that the law says that you are innocent until proven guilty, and I like to stand to that way of thinking. However, when I heard this story that I'm about to tell you, I just had the serious side eye. So fucking disgusted. And if you don't know what I'm talking about your boy Mystikal. Mystikal, the one who was released from jail back in 2010 after serving a 6-year stint for the exact same rape allegations. Held somebody against their will and raped her and was found guilty and thrown in jail for 6+ years. Well, not only did he do that, but in 2012, he was arrested for domestic violence. Okay, was in jail for a few months. They kept that shit under wraps and didn't know nothing about it. Okay, didn't find out about that until I was researching this story today. And now they're saying that back in October of 2016, he was performing at a Shreveport, Louisiana casino. And afterwards, he and a gentleman by the name of Averweon Holman killed this girl and raped her. They're also looking for a Tanisha Wofford. They say that Tanisha was trying to strong arm the victim into dropping the charges, but evidently the victim has decided to press forward with charging Mystikal for what he and Averweon, or whatever his name is, did. So, just so disappointing. Alright, now, like I said, I know that we don't know for a fact that he did it. Okay, and that there's plenty of people out there that come up with stories and lie and all that, yet and still. The fact that he would put himself in the position to even be misconstrued as him possibly raping somebody gives me serious pause. And listen, I understand that these rappers and shit be on the road and there's plenty of puss that's being thrown at them from left and right, and what man is not gonna turn down puss when it's being given so freely to them? But I'm gonna need Mystikal to remember when he spent those 6+ years in jail, and if anything, that should remind you, never put you in a situation where you could even be accused of this kind of thing. Like, I was so disappointed when I read that because, you know, we've seen Mystikal around and he's doing this Legends of Hip Hop or whatever tour. And I mean, people enjoy his music and everything. It's just like, why would you put yourself, why do people do this, put themselves in these positions? I will never understand it. But like I said, innocent until proven guilty, right? Okay. I'm going to try real hard to, you know, stick with that. But it's just like, I'm gonna need you to do better, Mystikal. Alright, Averweon, Tanisha, okay, everybody in that situation makes absolutely no sense. We're gonna hope that the victim is not lying, and that if she is, that she's dealt with accordingly as well, because you're affecting a lot of people's lives. But I don't know. I can't. This is a fucking mess. Everybody do better. Alright, you guys, the story of Marcellus Williams. I'm sure you guys have seen it. He was a man that was convicted of murder and was scheduled to be put to death just this past Tuesday, I believe. And as a last-ditch effort, his lawyers filed to have it stopped because there were some DNA issues when Marcellus Williams was in court. Evidently, back in 2000, what did they say? It was 2001, I believe it was, when he was in court for this murder. For some reason, his DNA was unavailable. I don't know what that means. Like, they didn't have it at the court that day, if they lost it, if they never got any. Whatever the problem was, there was no DNA there for them, and he was convicted with them not testing his DNA. But the Attorney General's office is saying that even if there's no DNA evidence, there is non-DNA evidence that links him to this crime. The big question is that enough to really, I mean, because the death penalty, that is the most finite of all penalties, right? So you would want the facts to be 100% accurate that he did indeed kill this person or persons, because I don't know the story of what murders he supposedly had committed, but you would want it to be accurate, because when you put somebody to death, then that's just it, right? So there's some question here with Marcellus Williams, and the governor did finally grant a stay because he wants to review this case and all the facts with it, and I think that is only right. Okay, now I am for the death penalty. Eye for an eye right here. All right, because if somebody killed my kids or my family members or a loved one of mine, I would want them to die too. And that's probably not the best way to be, but that's just how I feel. All right, I know it don't bring the person back. I know it don't solve nothing. Okay, I probably would then have to live with the guilt of, you know, another person dying and all that, but I'm gonna deal with it. But I also feel that if there is some doubt there, you probably shouldn't kill this person. All right, so am I going against what I'm saying? Like, am I being hypocritical there? That's not the word. Am I being I can't think of the word right now, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I just feel like it has to be a definite, we know that this is the person that did it, and any other question, because you may innocently kill somebody, and now I don't want that to happen either. So yes, it's fair that they're giving him this stay, and that they're going to check and see, you know, if he does deserve to die, and hopefully if he is innocent, then he will be taken off of death row and released, and it'll be another good story that we hear about, you know, these things, because it does happen. A lot of people were on death row, and a lot of people probably have been killed that wasn't guilty. So I mean, we'll just see. But yeah, no problem with the death penalty here. How do you guys feel? Are you guys with the death penalty, or is that something that you just cannot get with? Let me know. You guys, we must send a rest in peace to Richard Gregory, better known as DickGregory. He is a comedian. He's a political and social activist. He even had some conspiracy theoretical views. I mean, there was so much to the man that was DickGregory. For as long as I can remember, DickGregory's name has been out there, and I've always known who he was. Back when he was a comedian. You know, I remember my parents even talking about him because they saw him like stand up in Vegas or something like that. Like, I mean, he's always been around. Remember when he had the Bohemian diet, and they say that he made millions of dollars when he, you know, developed that diet plan and sold it off. And I mean, there's so much to DickGregory. I can't even quantify and put it all in words as how much he's meant to the black community. So much respect for this man. Even if some of the things he said seem so way off the wall, you must admit that a lot of the things that he said that seemed like it was conspiracy theory type thinking, after you really think about it, it's like, you know, is it really? So I feel like DickGregory has always forced us to think and not just go with the status quo and the norm of what people are saying, you know, what is being fed to us, whether it's from the media or for the government. This definitely was a man who knew a lot and gave a lot, and it was up to us to absorb it and believe it and act on it. So a serious loss for the black community. They say that he was married. He does leave his wife behind. I think they've been married, they said 58 years. And her name's Lillian Gregory. They say that he leaves behind 10 children. There were 11 children originally. One of them died when he was just a couple of months old. He was 84 years old. So rest in peace to Mr. DickGregory. Also, we must say rest in peace to Jerry Lewis, who died the very next day. DickGregory died on August 19th. Jerry Lewis died on August 20th from a heart condition known as ischemic cardiomyopathy. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but they're saying that it's when your heart doesn't have enough strength to pump the blood through your body because you have like clogged arteries. Jerry Lewis, also a legend in comedy. I can remember so many Jerry Lewis movies and just watching and laughing. I mean, he was a comedic genius for sure. Definitely as he's gotten older, he had a lot of health problems. I mean, I've always heard about him having heart issues. They said that he had prostate cancer at one time. You know, he was diabetic. I remember him falling and breaking his back or something like that. So he's had a lot of health issues. Yet and still he was able to make it to 91 years old. They say that he left behind 5 children, had a 6th one, but that one died a few years ago from a drug overdose, I believe. And not clear on if he was married or not, as all this talk about him marrying some women and then divorcing them, and then he done got back with 2 of them back in the past. So I'm not sure if he was married, but still, on top of his family, he leaves many friends and fans behind. So rest in peace to Mr. Jerry Lewis. You guys, and then in quickies, so y'all saw this whole quest for Bambi that Scrappy was on these last few weeks. He had some sort of change of heart and had posted, you know, how good of a woman she was, and even though, you know, they both hurt each other, and even though she got on his nerves, it was never nothing that big, and basically he should not have broken up with her. So he started to post on his Instagram daily how he was looking for Bambi. He finally was able to find her at the Bronner Brothers convention out here, which is a hair show that's big time. You know, it's big in August. She was there at a booth, and he went there and he found his girl. Very, very cute. Listen, you guys know that I like Scrappy and Bambi together. I hate that those two broke up. I really would like to see them two get back together, but there is the problem of their very messy breakup being played out in social media, on reality shows, and once you let the world in to see the bullshit that goes on in your relationship, it is hard to get back with that person. Okay, it's different if it was in private and, you know, you just dealt with it and all that, but then now you got to be saving face, and people are going to be reaching out to you and calling you stupid and, oh my god, I can't believe you doing this. And because I really do feel like Bambi loves Scrappy. She's never really said anything bad about him. Okay, she just said that he was childish, that he was immature, and we all saw that in Scrappy. I just don't know if, you know, she's going to be willing to try to get back with him simply because he made her kind of look stupid, or he just made her look like he just didn't care, he didn't respect, and who's to say that he won't do that shit again? Okay, and then she gonna have to go through this shit one more time with, so, you know, with everybody watching it and all that. So sometimes you just got to protect yourself. And you know, maybe right now is not the time. Maybe, you know, we can go some years and you can mature up a little bit more. Okay, get your own fucking self together, because I really feel like Scrappy is like a goddamn child. I've told you guys so many times that he gonna be the old nigga in the club. For sure. He keep up with this. And it just doesn't seem, because he always does this exact same thing. So, while I would like to see them work it out, I don't think that that's going to happen. I don't know if Bambi is willing to go there. The solar eclipse, everybody asked me about it. It was really, really cool. I mean, what else can you say? I wasn't all that excited about it. I mean, we kept hearing about the solar eclipse, but when I was at work and people started to talk about it more and more, you know, it started to get me like, oh, okay, you know, I'm about to be a part of history. They haven't had a total eclipse like this in a long time. And, you know, Georgia was really almost Georgia was in the direct path, but you had to be, I believe it was Walton, Georgia, the county that actually it went directly over, and they got total, you know, the total eclipse. But even here in Atlanta, you know, we were really close to a total eclipse. So I just started to get pumped up. You know, my husband made his box and shit, and then we made some boxes at work, and we all went outside and watched the eclipse, and it was awesome. You know, it's something about seeing the sun and the moon, and, you know, the fact that you were looking up at it, you know, with these glasses. Everybody had the exact same reaction, okay? It was just sort of like, oh, okay, let me look up here with these glasses. And then as soon as they looked up there with the glasses, they were like, oh my God, that is amazing. I think they said the sun is somewhere around 94 million miles away from Earth, and that the moon literally is just a speck in the size of the sun, but because of the perfect lineup and, you know, the moon being closer to the earth and the sun being way back and how it covered, like, I mean, it was truly an awesome thing to see, and I was glad to be a part of it. So, I mean, that was it. That was it. I did get excited, I must admit. Did you watch the solar eclipse? What did you think? They say that Amina and Tara and Peter have been kicked off of Love and Hip Hop New York. I don't know if that's true, but it wouldn't be surprising because they didn't have a very large part on the last season, and I think everybody was kind of over seeing the three of them. Now they're saying that Peter and Amina are going to be on Marriage Boot Camp, which we already knew that. I mean, they were talking about that even back last season when they were on New York. So I feel like they had already recorded the Marriage Boot Camp and it's finally just now coming on the air. So if that's the case, I don't even know if they're going to be really mentally in the same place that they were back when they recorded the show. But, you know, yet and still, we about to see the fucking train wreck of Peter and Amina on Marriage Boot Camp. And I think they say that Tara makes an appearance on the show or something. I mean, fuck, I guess if you didn't got kicked your ass off the show, then I guess you got to make your little monies some kind of way. But I don't care. I don't watch that show. You know, it's just whatever. Tara and Peter and Mina just need to be sister wives / baby daddy, baby mamas, and all live together and call it a day. Because really that's what they are anyway. And then your girl Amy Schumer, you guys, I won't lie. Okay, I believe that Amy Schumer is funny. I've seen her in stand-up and I've seen her in different things that I actually laughed, okay? Not gut-wrenching or anything like that, but it was enough to make me say that this woman is funny. So I'm going to give her props for that. Amy Schumer has a Netflix special coming up, and Amy Schumer is demanding that she gets a raise from Netflix and pay because of the money that was spent paying Chris Tucker. Oh my God, did I say Chris? I said that shit so clearly. Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle. So now she's feeling like she should get more money. And you know, all I can say to that is you don't deserve more, okay? Because Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle are legends in this game. They are veterans in this game. They have been out there so long, way longer than you, Amy. I mean, for you to demand the same type of pay for them is just ludicrous. I'm all for when women need to make their money and equal pay for equal work and all of that, but that's the word that's, you know, most important here. Equal work. You haven't been out there long enough to be getting as much money as them. What the fuck are you talking about? These two have contributed way more to the comedic landscape than an Amy Schumer have. Okay, so what you're not going to do is use the I should be paid equal card that many women use, rightfully so, and use it to your benefit. Okay, because it's not the same thing. Take the money that Netflix gave you, build up your legend, and then we'll talk years down the line about you getting what Dave and Chris got. Okay, fuck out of here. And lastly, you guys, people have been asking me about my Kool-Lickles. Okay, that's the Kool-Aid pickles that my husband made. They're really good. Okay, they were really good. They taste like sweet pickles to me. So it wasn't like this way out strange taste. If you like the taste of sweet pickles, you will like the taste of Kool-Aid pickles. And we had the cherry flavored one. But you know, they were red, they were crunchy still, they were really good, sweet, all of that. So if you know, want to go on and make you some, y'all go on Messy Miles Instagram. He has a recipe on there, and y'all make you some and let me know what you think about it. Alright, you guys, let me get off of here. We do this every single week, so make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.